Hi from Cyprus. I was just updating you guys on what is going on here in Cyprus. I know I haven't talked about it. I've talked about up till now, but haven't talked about Cyprus. So I just want to let you guys know and everybody who supports me what I am doing here in Cyprus and what's going on. I know most of you have never heard of Cyprus, or you're like, what are you doing in Cyprus? Listen, it is crazy how many refugees are here, number one. Two, Cyprus is Orthodox Christianity, so it's been really cool to see that side of it and be able to talk about that and see what that looks like. And then three, there's a lot of prejudice here in Cyprus. In 1950 something, I'm not exactly sure, Turkey invaded Cyprus and wanted land, and so ended up where they took the northern Cyprus, and now that's Turkish. Literally, totally same island. This island is so small; it's like 130 miles long and like 80 miles wide, and it's like it is so small, but yet they literally have a different currency and different everything. And then this part where I'm living in is Cypriot, and they're really upset that they took their land, and so there's a lot of that going on here along with a lot of refugees here, and then the Cypriots being upset about that, and it's just a long history and a long story of a lot of stuff that's going on. However, we have partnered with an organization called Oasis, and they are a Christian organization, and they are amazing. We have been with them the last 2 weeks, and I'm just going to describe kind of they are what they are. I'm just going to try to help you understand who they are. They do a lot of different things, and they are the church, let me tell you. It's really cool to see here in Cyprus 5 or 6 different churches coming together, helping one organization and building kingdom, and helping refugees. And that is what this organization is about. Their ultimate goal is to bring kingdom and help refugees. And so they work with a lot of Middle East refugees, Somalians, Syrians, Iran, Pakistan, Palestinians, a lot of different refugees. And so what we do is Monday through Friday, we work with them. In the mornings, they do a cafe, they do food distribution, they do English classes, and they teach, and then that's basically what we do throughout the week. So in the mornings, we're working with them from about 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30 till about 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we come home, we have lunch, and then we go back and we work from 2 to 5 on Tuesdays and Thursdays normally. And what I've been doing is Mondays I've been working with food distribution and putting food in the bags and then handing them out to the families and the singles. And then Tuesdays, I think that's cafe day. So what cafe consists of, they just come here. It's a safe place for them. What has happened is a lot of the refugees have come here and they've been put into the refugee camp. It's called Kofina, and it is supposed to hold like 200, yet there's like 400 and something people there, and so it's very packed. There's nothing to do, and it's in the middle of nowhere. So Oasis gives the refugees an opportunity to come and have a safe place to have fun, to have food, to play games, and just to hang out with people. There's also a clothing closet that they open up, and it's very nice, and they get to pick clothing and pots and pans or whatever they need for their families. And then English classes, they teach English classes, and it's legit. It is for real. Like, they open the doors and they close the doors 15 after. If you're not there 15 after, you are tardy and you're not allowed to come to the class. And they do testing, they have curriculum, and it's for real. And so they're very organized, and it's really cool to see them, how they interact with the refugees and how they come together as a family, and all the churches come together, and then how they've just taken us in. Our cups are totally being full and overflowed with joy and compassion, and they have taken us out to eat. They have made us food at home. They have made us feel so welcomed and so loved. A couple of stories or a story I want to share with you that has just touched my heart that I want you guys to hear is a story of a lady who is a refugee. Refugees, people who have fled from their countries, there's different names for them, and we've learned them, but just basis, if you flee your country, there's different ways and different things. But I call them refugees. And so there's a lady who, okay, majority of them flee because there's war and there's famine and bombs are being dropped. That's multiple stories I've heard is they want to protect their kids and they just hear bombs dropping all around them, or people have gone corrupt, so they flee. And it's really sad and really devastating. And this is happening today in our world. It's not something that happened long ago, when war was about. It's like happening today. And people are running for their lives and they're trying to find a safe place to plant their families and things. And a lot of these refugees are well known in their society. They have come from good money and wealth. And they had their own business, and they were very consistent, or they were good where they were. They didn't want to leave, but because of protection, they had to leave. And so when they arrived in Cyprus, a lot of them thought they were arriving somewhere else, but they arrived in Cyprus, and they don't have very much for them. Very little money. A very small place to live, and so they're devastated. They feel like captives almost, and a lot of people would say they're getting money, they're not around war or anything. But if you were to leave everything that you've built up and your family and a place that is you call home, that you've lived your whole life, and you've just left, and then you come to a place where you don't know, the people don't understand you, you don't understand their language, they don't understand your language, they don't like you, they think you're taking all their money. And you're not getting as much as you used to, and you're living in this small place where rats, and there's not even beds. There is beds, but they're disgusting, and it's just horrendous, and it's sad, but there is hope, because in the midst of all of this that's happening, God is using this to be able to speak to these people that would never be able to hear the gospel in the first place, but are here to hear the gospel and they're using and God's using people and organizations like Oasis to be able to do that, to draw these people in and talk to them about God. There's been several times where I walked outside and they're laying hands on people's heads, praying for healing and praying for emotional healing, physical healing, and just welcoming in the Holy Spirit and wanting God to take control. There's not a morning that we don't pray and we don't do a Bible study and welcome in the Holy Spirit. And a lot of times we do a debrief after. And so this organization's amazing. But this one lady, she and her husband lived, and her 3 kids lived in, I think it was Iraq, I believe. And they fled, and I asked the reason why, and just trying to hear her story, and she said, my husband converted to Christianity, he became a Christian. And I was like, whoa. She's like, yeah, so we had to leave because they were trying to kill him. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. They didn't flee because of bombings dropped around. They left because people were after them because they became a Christian. And it's that right there shocked me. I was like, how often do I take just being Christian and just being able to live free in my country for granted? And I do not take it for granted very often. So they left everything they had and they came here. And I asked her, so you're a Christian? She said, only a year. She said, he doesn't tell me what to do. And so she said, I had to come to know it myself. And I said, well, what's the one thing, what made you convert? She said, or made you realize this is truth. Christianity is truth and it's love. And she said, freedom. She said, when I was a Muslim, I wasn't able to be free. I was in this box and I wasn't able to be free. She said, there's so much freedom in being a Christian. I can pray freely. I can be myself, and I don't feel like I am boxed in. I can ask questions, and I can learn, and so it was really cool just to hear her testimony, hear her story. But and it is sad, but God is using all of this for His glory, and that's what He does. He turns things that are supposed to be bad and uses it for His glory. And so I just want to encourage you today to share your faith freely. Keep praying for our team here in Cyprus. Next week we have debrief. That's in 5 days, and that will be, we leave here and then we head to another part of Cyprus. And that's just 5 days of a reflection, which I don't like, but I'm beginning to understand and like more because I'm learning a lot about myself. Just be praying that God continues to speak to me and speak to my heart and continues to let me understand myself better. Pray that we will encounter people who will continue to listen and have open ears to the gospel, and that we will have wisdom to know what to say and when to speak, and that He will give us the words to speak and to say. I love you all so very much. I do miss you. It's the holidays, and I have met two really good friends that I think are going to be my best friends for the rest of my life here. I think I say that every single time, but for real, it's amazing. They actually live here and they work in a nail salon, and they did my nails. It's like Christmas. I said, you can do whatever you want, and she made them like snowflakes. I'm like, you already know me. So I was playing Christmas music while she was doing it. It was wonderful, and so I miss you. Hope you guys have good holidays. If I don't get to speak to you before Thanksgiving, we'll be having Thanksgiving at somebody who works at Oasis's house, and they have invited us over for Thanksgiving. So I love you. I miss you. Be praying for us. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye.